I am so excited to show you the next step in making the bread, because sometimes, you know, it could be just a little bit confusing. It's easy enough to mix it up. That's not really the problem. But look at this gorgeous, wonderful dough. But this is the part where maybe it's just nice to have a little extra help. Now, you know, with our roll pads, we do not use a lot of flour normally for anything, right? But I like to use a lot more than I normally would for any of my pie crusts or anything that I do for this dough, because it's extra sticky and we want a special finish. Now see, look how beautiful our little scraper just cleans out that bowl. Is that just beautiful or what? I just love it. You know, I used to use a spatula all the time and I'm like, no way, I don't want to mess with that anymore. Okay, so now I have my little bit of flour, and I want to show you kind of this little trick I have. Because our roll pads are so easy to use, I kind of use it to flip it up and over. And it's just so nice. And then I can kind of work my dough around. Now we're not kneading the bread at all, okay? Absolutely not kneading it. What we're really doing at this point is we are just pressing out any air bubbles, because we want to have it nice. And so really, you're just kind of pushing. You can kind of feel a little squishy here and there, but it's just super easy. And I can feel the bubbles, because as you saw, it was really puffy. So just working through. And then when you feel like you're not really pushing out any more bubbles, you're pretty much done. So now this is just so much fun because, so now, I mean, it's beautiful, right? And I could just go ahead and put it in my pan. But, you know, one of the, I think the art of making it look artisan is to make sure you get enough flour on it. So I actually kind of knock it around, beat it around extra, because I want it to look really rough. Okay, and then when I think it's looking rough enough, okay, now I think a little more flour. I mean, you want to make it wonderful, right? Why not? Okay, so, and then I'm going to scrape up a little more on top. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, just right into the pan. And then I'm going to cover it. And I like to cover mine with a square. And actually, this grande pan is one of my favorite family pans. So now this has been out of the oven for just a few minutes, but I can't wait to show you what your artisan bread's gonna look like. Now this is a double batch, which I love to do when I have a big family, but are you watching? Look at this, look at this. Now this is in the grande, okay, with the square bun mat, but a double loaf is just so great if you want leftovers, or maybe not. Oh, and have you ever thought of, in advance, making herb butter? I like to do 1 teaspoon of butter softened with 1 stick of butter softened with 1 teaspoon of any of our herb blends. And oh, it's just like magic. It's just like magic. So now I'm going to show you, this is cold obviously, so that I can play around with it a little bit. But look how this is going to go right onto your cutting board. And now this is the pan, right? Can you imagine that the guy who came up with this recipe tells you have to have a Le Creuset to make our bread. But that wonderful pans, they do that for you. And just look how beautiful it is. Can you imagine putting that on your dinner table? I just want to show you really quick an easy way to cut your bread. Now you want to let it cool for a little bit for sure, but you still obviously want it wonderfully warm, so it's going to melt your butter. So what I do is actually put on the side, and oh, isn't that too gorgeous? Okay, so I actually do on the side and then cut down. And look at this beautiful bread. And then I just slice down from here. And it's just so easy and so great. And you're not ending up smashing your bread. I think that's really the important part. You don't want to start slicing too early, but just put it on the edge and look.